So I caught up to watching the highlights of the Liverpool-Burnley game once again, or Burnley-Liverpool if you want to be proper. 2-0 win. Darwin Núñez getting his first goal in the Premier League after, 10 matches, whatever it was. And also Diogo Jota getting himself a goal as well. Lovely finish, by the way, between the legs of who was a standout player for me, Trafford for Burnley, their young goalkeeper. Fantastic game from him. Stopped many a shot from Liverpool. Could have been 4-5-0 in the first half. Arguably could have been 2-0 in the first half, if not for some shoddy refereeing decisions from Paul Tierney, on-field referee, and Simon Hooper, the VAR ref. Both of them absolute pricks, but we move. But as you can see on screen, I have the FA laws for offside, Law 11. And one thing that's always annoyed me is this offside, passive offside thing where you're in an offside position and you're interfering with the play. Now, I want to specifically focus on lines with the goalkeeper, not so much the defender, because if you are in an offside position and you move across purposely to block the view or stop an opponent from making a challenge, that is then deemed a foul. If not offside, more so for a foul. So you're not supposed to sort of block them off. But what I want to focus on is this part here, where in situations where a player moving from or standing in an offside position, okay, keyword moving from or standing in an offside position, is in the way of an opponent and interferes with the movement of the opponent towards the ball, this is an offside offense if it impacts on the ability of the opponent to play or challenge for the ball. If the player moves into the way of an opponent and impedes the opponent's progress, i.e., or example, blocks the opponent, the offense should be penalized under Law 12, which I believe is the foul law. So for what happened to Salah yesterday and what's happened previously in the Premier League as well, with other goals being disallowed or allowed, it's almost a matter of, which referee is going to deem it to be an offside offence, because subjective, and we've seen City be granted these calls, and then of course they've come out and said, actually it was the wrong call, it shouldn't have happened. Well, sorry, it doesn't cut it, because the results already been come and gone. They got their goal, they got a second and a third, and whatever it was, they ended up with 3 points. It's not really an issue. I can't really complain about it because it is what it is. But the one thing that always annoys me is if a player is in an offside position in the attacking sense and the goalkeeper is a couple of meters away from them and a player takes a shot and the other player in an offside position is in line with their goalkeeper, if there is a defender there, they are not offside. It says here, standing in an offside position. And as far as I know, as long as you've got a defender and you are in front, not in front, rather, depends where you're facing. If you're facing towards your own goal, you're in front. But if you're looking towards their goal, you're in front. If you are behind the defender, you are not offside. So the way I understand it, I could be completely wrong here, but I haven't seen anything to for the contrary. But if I'm Mo Salah, I'm standing in an offside position. If I have a opposition defender on the goal line and the goalkeeper is in front, Salah's not offside then. And obviously it's like, no shit, because there's another defender on the line. But my whole thing is, it's not where if there is another defender on the goal line or in front of keeping Salah onside positionally, if Salah is just standing around and just watching the ball go past him as he turns around, he hasn't interfered with the play then, because he's in an onside position as far as I understand it. These offside rules are frustrating as hell, and a lot of people were not happy on Twitter, which I did mention in my initial post-match reaction commentary, which was done at 6:30 in the morning after the game had finished, obviously being in Australia. But they were not happy on Twitter, which I'll get to in a sec. But once again, my understanding is Salah can be impeding the goalkeeper's view if he's not intentionally running across his field of vision or in his immediate area, so long as there is an opponent keeping him onside in any capacity, then it would be okay. And of course, it can't be offside if the goalkeeper is not there, because as long as the ball's passed back and not passed forward, you are okay. As long as the ball goes backwards and you are clear, you'll be granted a goal as we know. So that is what it is. But this is what they said on Twitter. So this was all the rage, and it has still continued throughout the day. But what I want to point out is a lot of people mentioned that there was a push on Salah before the offside was called. As you can see there, this account here has the referee or VAR made a poor decision. I just discovered it yesterday. Seems to be a good one. But you can see there, 2 hands on Salah, pushes him into the space, and then that's where he ends up being offside. But again, if we have this happening here, and we have this Burnley defender on this side here standing on the edge of the goal line, Salah is still onside, and it doesn't matter because he's not in front of Trafford. He's not pushing against him. He's not doing anything to disrupt him or distract his view. He's still a good, 2-3 meters away, give or take, say 2 meters maybe. And there's plenty of room, but he's already feigning to go to his right, not to his left, and was never going to get there. So I have to question, I'm not going to go as far as some of these accounts here and saying like, well, this is corruption at its finest, PGMOL, have lost the plot. I'm like, it's just a shit decision. In instances where a player is running across and they're ducking out of the way or trying to move out of the way, I can understand that. I probably say, you know what, they are literally in motion and they're crossing paths with the goalkeeper who's looking at the ball, and there's a player that runs through and he's like, well, hang on a second, what have I seen here? If they're in an offside position, fine, offside, no problems. But this, when you're standing still and you've been pushed as well, you got to question and say, what the hell are these referees looking at? What are they checking here? Liverpool deny making it 2-0 due to VAR, ruling Mohamed Salah onside. Yeah, I don't know about this. Jamie O'Hara says here on TalkSport, says, referee gets it wrong again in the Liverpool game. Perfect goal from Elliott. Keeper was going the wrong way. Never would have saved it. And Salah got pushed into an offside position. When are we going to get common sense at Stockley Park? It's so boring. Stockley Park don't care. That's the problem. These refs and VAR officials are just making things up as they go along. And of course, Paul Tierney, we know Klopp's spoken out about him. Simon Hooper, we know the shitstorm that happened against Tottenham, which is why a lot of people still say Liverpool are the only undefeated team in the league, because how anyone considers that an official result, even though it is. You got to say, okay, in the correct circumstances, probably not going to see that result stand. Could still very well lose. Liverpool could still very well lose, but at least it would have been through maybe fairer means, shall we say. This fella here, Nepenthe the Z. Obviously, I don't want Liverpool to win, but that can't be given as offside on Salah. Trafford isn't getting to it no matter what. People in control of VAR are awful. That's just my whole point, exactly. Like, there's the push on Salah, as you can see there. He's in the offside position. Elliott takes his shot, goes near post. Keeper's already moving to his right. He's not going to get to it. What are we doing here? The push wasn't a foul, so this must be a City fan. Yeah, it wasn't a foul, but it still got pushed into position. If that's what we're talking about, that's the only reason why Salah was pushed into position. Otherwise, he probably would have been in line with this defender here. And then Nunez would have been in an offside position, but he's nowhere near interfering with the play of the goalkeeper or the view of the goalkeeper. So there's no problems there. No problems there whatsoever. Even Klopp said as well something like, these are decisions these referees make when they've never played the game. And look, I'm not going to sit here and say, we should have won by more. Like, we won. We scored 2 legitimate goals. Great goals from Nunez. Great goal from Jota coming off the bench. So Darwin and Diogo getting their goals, which is nice. Salah going to the African Cup in January, a week or two's time. Endo going to the Asian Cup as well. So we're going to miss him, but hopefully McAllister will be back. So we are going to need some more players to step up and get us to where we need to go. But, to wrap this up here, I know it's been like a bit of a whinge fest, but I just want to point out this passive offside rule in some instances can be good. In these instances here, where obviously it happened against my team, and look, I'll put my hand up right now. If this happened against a rival or against us, I would have probably said, you know what, like, it is what it is. Like, the only reason that goal is called offside is because there is no other player to keep him onside. Even if he's in an onside position, same in line with the goalkeeper, when he's just standing back to him, he's no idea where the keeper's moving, it would be given a goal because he's in an onside position. That's the stupidity of that law. in my opinion. But again, just my opinion. So that was my little more measured maybe rant or grievance with this passive offside rule, but we move. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, if I got something wrong, by all means, please let me know. I'm always looking at comments, even though I don't respond. But all about growing a community here and learning from one another, not just talking shit and gassing up everybody else on TikTok and little Twitter videos and spaces and the like.